So, welcome back to Big Money Inc. And we are going to build a space station with the parts we unlocked in the last episode. So, that being said, let's build a space station. We then had no contracts. I don't want to push it forward because there are some interesting contracts up here. So if I can build this station and get it operational, I might just get enough science to be able to unlock another fair part of the tech tree. Ultimately, my goal is to try and tempt my luck to get to Mars. So let's get on with building a space station. Oh, I think I know what happened. We purchased the science, but we didn't purchase the parts. No, we got those parts, we got those. We didn't get these, so that's the deal breaker right now. But we got the lightning and all that. Blah 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 blah. Oh, well, we'll improvise. So we'll have to build some way to get away from that once it's up there. In this case, we're gonna start off with the science lab as our main ship core piece. And give us an idea of what we're doing. So, yeah. Not really sure of how I'm going to pull this off at this point. Did I get the RCS? No, I did not. And I don't have no command. So if I'd want to get these dudes back home, that would be a whole different ballgame. I'm gonna flip this coupler around because the way it works is the shroud. It's gonna detach from the engine. No, I want to flip it around, not just yet. Sorry if I'm not being clear on what I'm doing or anything right now. I'm just trying to figure a way to make this work. Because I need 2 science astronauts in here. And I need a pilot, essentially. I need to put Jeb on there. But I need to bring him back. And I need to bring these guys back afterwards without killing them. Which I'll have to hire another scientist. Let's go to the astronaut complex right away. So since we're gonna be leaving him in orbit, I don't want to buy crap personnel anyways. So he ain't so stupid and he's brave, so let's take him. That's an engineer. Wow. another scientist. Am I blind, or is there like no scientists up for hire? Okay, so we'll definitely need to bring everyone back once that we are done. So that might just simplify things after all. Okay, so let's go back to the build mode. Let's detach this, put this up here. If we go on our utility, we got our hitchhiker storage that we can use to build. So yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ditch everything and start from scratch. And hey, wait a tick. All we need is a pilot and 2 scientists, so yeah. There you go. Boom. Might not be super aerodynamic, but it's gonna give us some real estate for some batteries and solar panels to help us keep it stable. And we need to not forget our parachute, so let's build our survivability capsule accordingly. Let's put 3 of these, and we're gonna add 3 blue chutes, just so it can help catch everyone, so this bottom capsule doesn't get crushed on. Just because I want to be safe. I don't want to kill my scientists. They are valuable after all. Heat shield. Yeah, I didn't have the big one, so trying to do a big ship wouldn't have worked. I'm definitely going to need some thermal controls, so I'm gonna worry about that in a few moments. Alright, so that will be our re-entry capsule, I guess, if you want to call it. Now let's add some batteries and some panels. I could even add one up top here. Push these a little bit upwards. Make everything line up beautifully. Boom. Alright. Looks half decent. And now, panels. Yes. Whoops. Solar panels before I forget. This should be enough just for this stage. So, okay, that needs a re-entry booster, so let's build one. Take one of these. Gonna add one of these tiny engines. Should be enough to get us all the way back to Kerbin. Once we've actually reached the orbit with the space station. Okay, so that's our basically our re-entry and life support, pilot and whatever stage. So let's move this up a bit. And now let's add our big science vehicle. Well, our science lab. It's right here. Okay. I need experiments. I'm not just going to send this up, so I'm gonna use a payload. Only got the small payloads. This mission is going to tie up a lot of the astronauts. Interesting. I don't have no fairings either. What if... No. Feel like I'm pushing the boundary of how tall this first section can be before I get too much weeble wobble. But that looks excessively tall. I could cut this whole engine stage if I'd have our CS, but we're experimenting, so we'll just have to see what happens. Let's put it close to the ladder. That's wait, if we want to recover data, totally can. And let's put all these. That's why I wanted the... Okay, that ain't half bad. Now I'm... Yes, I do have these weird ladders, but I also have these. If I put two of these, or one of these on each sides, they're way too long. Let's scrap those. If I put these, I extend them. They seem to somewhat work. So, I guess I could add this here to potentially close off the gap, but never really 100% works. Add a little bit of ladder up here so you can get to the science bay. Science Junior. So yeah, we got 2 million and I don't have any action groups, so this is gonna be big money MK6, or no, big money station. One MK1, so let's put it like that. So we'll save that, we'll leave the hangar for now, and we'll see if we can get some action groups. So basic action groups, if I upgrade I get custom action group, so 1,200,000, let's do that. So I cut the budget in half, but well, so it's 17 grand for now. It's all the toys and everything, the technology that's expensive. The rest it's fuel. Fuel and a couple of engines. Okay. So all these things, now we got our custom action groups, which we can put the ladders to. So if we add them to them, me I have them set on my toggle switch on my hot ass, but if you have well, your keyboard, basically you can use the keys on your keyboard. So 1 through 9 will do reaction groups. The 10th one you should map it somewhere else. So right now I have 4 or 5 custom action groups mapped out on my HODAS. So I don't really need more than that at this point. Maybe in the future, but not right now. So these things are mapped out. Ladder seems legit. Might come back to bite us in the ass, but we'll see about that. Alright, let's finish building this thing. Let's get panels. We need more solar panels. Probably more batteries. So let's see how many we can put on here before we abstract something. That's pretty good. So 2 row of these should do the job. Maybe not. Gonna add some more. We don't need the bottom of the ladder, so the thing is that once our lab is actually doing science, it's gonna eat up the juice of our batteries. So we need to have a lot of panels and a lot of batteries to power it, since we don't have the big ones at this point. So, okay, just for aesthetics, I'm gonna try and not block the windows. So that way the Kerbals can actually see outside from the lab. Okay, and hey, we now have lights. So that would just be excessive at this point. Well, yeah, big money. So we get to see our craft even when it's dark. But I don't want him to stay stuck on capsule once it goes for re-entry. So there we go. With the other lander can, the MK2 lander can, I'd have 2 passengers in there, and I just need to slap on the cupola. I could do a re-entry capsule with that. Would be a lot more sleek than this, but whatever. Well, not sleek, be more stubby, let's say, than this. Okay, but no, we're only going to be using big fuel tanks and stuff. So, bam. Yeah. Kind of worried that this ain't going to work for shit. But we at least have to try. Bam. Let's get this poodle thing there. I could even spam it with these on the sides. I'm not sure if that seems like it would be enough. Just put these bad boys here. I'm not sure what it's going to do once I couple them. I think that just sends my fuel efficiency right out the window. I'm just going for an orbit around Kerbin, so just want to make sure I have enough trust for this thing. So, okay, so for the engines, I'm still with the skipper. So I'm just going to be building one main stage. My fuel tanks. Okay, so I'm gonna need to try to be as efficient as possible on my takeoff. I really don't think this is going to work, but I'm still going forward with it in the hopes that just maybe it will. So far everything that I doubted worked, so, to my amazement. Just want to get these low enough that they match up with the main. Even my structural, do I have it? No, I don't. If I'd have a splitter, I could actually put more of these, maybe 2 or 3 of these, or possibly 4. But would eat up the fuel way more, but would allow me to lift a lot more also. Okay, so let's go for aerodynamics. I'm still clearing those little engines, and now I actually have these struts. So with these struts I should be able to make these a lot stiffer, not have them weeble wobble as much. Let's try and get them on straight and as symmetrical as possible. Ah, I double clicked. My bad. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let me just yeah, that one's a little bit high, but I don't think it is going to matter. So I don't think I should strut this, but whatever. So there's our, possibly our station. So let's see if we can put this in orbit, woo, without killing everybody on board. But we are going to have a backup plan. Everyone is going to be into the nose. No one's going to be inside the lab, so we'll actually get to ditch the lab at any given point if we have to. To recover our crew. So I'm going to pay another visit since they might need to spend a lot of time up there. Okay, big money, big money. I'm worrying about money now. Million, 100, and let's go see our crew complex. Okay, I can at least get a pilot, and there ain't no more scientists. Scientists are rare. So okay, we can spare Bob for a while. The reason why I'm getting these guys is because the science lab will take a couple days, couple months even to turn out science, so gotta leave these guys up there for a while. Okay, crew cabin and crew cabin. So all my personnel is up in these parts. There's no one in the lab right now. Once they're up in space, I'll be able to transfer them into the lab and get them to do some science and recover data from everything else. One of the reasons why I held off from doing a lot of the other science at the start, because I get so much more of a payout with this. Alright, so save the ship, check my staging. That's the lone parachute. Those are the 3 mains. Okay, these are the drogues. And these are the 3 other mains. So boom. Alright. Looks quite decent. We might need to shorten the top stage up because it might bend and break as we take off. And if that happens, what I'll do, I think, is I'll chop the top part, leave a capsule there, and then have to send another ship to recover the scientist before we deorbit it to let it burn. Okay, so I'm saving this here. I'm gonna go pay a visit to my tracking station. I want to see how much debris I left behind. 5 debris. Got it. Okay, so I got all these debris. Yeah. Some of them should be getting destroyed. I got that one that's up there. I'm leaving there. This one is landed, so I can actually recover it. Let's recover. One's flying, flying, flying. So, yeah, that's funny. They're way below the orbit. They should be falling, but they're not. So, let's just terminate them. This one I said I'd leave on mid-miss intact, and that's what I did. No, is it this one? No, it's this one. Okay. This one's suborbital. Yeah, we're gonna terminate this one too. So we cleared out our tracking station. So far we have 2 flags. We got the one here, the one on, well, the alpha side. Okay, so yeah, right on. Let's leave our tracking station and attempt to launch our station into orbit. Since we just cleaned up our orbit, kind of. Could call it cheating, but whatever. Okay, let's launch. Okay, so everyone is there, everyone's happy. Since we got these red things, our fuel and electricity is constantly getting fueled, and we are super stable for the launch. So I am going to throttle up for sure on this one. And we are going to need to try and get it to curve right at the start. So I'm not sure how well I'm gonna be able to handle it, or how well this flight is going to go. It might end in disaster, but we're going to soon find out. Alright. Stability control on, and let's fire up the engines and release the couplings. Well, we got off the ground. That's a start. Gonna give it all she's got. I'm gonna try and keep it low turn. Just to help it out. Oh, too much. Up here. Cut the engines. Them solid fuel bastards are wrecking it. This is a disaster. Shouldn't have turned. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm firing everything. And I do believe we just bombed the space center. Yes, we did. What a beautiful disaster. Oh wow, I hope there was no one in the R&D building. Because they just had a bad day. Oh, will the space hangar bite it? No, that was close. Oh wow. Disastrous. Well, not entirely. No casualties per se. Except for the R&D department, which we bombed. Oh wow. And all that money we burnt. Well, let's hurry things along, shall we? Still some more explosions. I got worried there that the engines would just pile drive the frickin' capsule into the ground and kill everyone. Right, people seems happy. Probably their spacesuit is full of space poop, but whatever. It happens. Oh, where are we landing? Emergency landing on the assembly hangar. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, if the assembly hangar is going to blow up or what's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. Phew. Okay. Wow. R&D, no service. Out of service, no science. How much to repair? Oh boy. Ouch. We just had a minor setback, but we're still pretty golden. Okay, 69 grand for the rocket. 69, right on. Okay, so we know not to try and curve this bad boy early on. So our astronauts are ready for their next mission. So let's try that again. Alright. So let's just gain some altitude and get out of the atmosphere before we actually curve or anything. So let's just fire this off and see what happens. If it curves and bails again, then I'm gonna have to rethink of something. I'm gonna cut down the main throttle just for now. Gonna be at the point where we're gonna be ditching our big solid boosters. So I am going to throttle up for this. And here goes the main boot. Solid boosters. And now I shall attempt to turn the ship. The gimbal on the other thing is really letting me know that it's there. So, okay, I am getting an aggressive turn, but I would like to conserve as much delta V and just floor it. All I want is an orbit, and now I'm getting this weird wibble wobble, so I will kill the gimbal for now. Let the capsule, the reaction wheel, do all the work, but now I'm seeing a lot of stability. It's still gonna shake because this ship is so long. So I'm clearly in orbit. I want to keep tilting. Not going super crazy high. I'm still... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take control back of the gimbal, but I'm gonna limit it like crazy. I'm just getting these small touches. Limited the gimbal so it wouldn't give me that big wobble effect, and at the same time I just realized I forgot the radiators. I don't think it should be an issue, but we never know. They are going to be there for a long time. Okay, so I release the first stage. I got a pretty nice orbit so far. So before I do the next burn, I'm gonna wait till I'm at the top here to try and equalize. So I'm not gonna lose that much speed. The only speed that I'm really going to lose is the speed I get from climbing. Now I think of it, I could have ditched the stage here. Didn't need that coupler, because I'm ditching everything else afterwards. Does look pretty cool, bro. Okay, so let's move things along. So okay, without anything, I can barely turn the ship, but at least I can actually move it, do things. So yeah, close to my point, so I'm just going to, how long? 41 minutes, 40 some seconds. Yeah, not patient. Okay, we're gonna have to fire off the stage. So right now I got these 6 engines and that small one. They all need to be on the same one. Let's turn them on. Boom. All our engines are on. So now let's start doing a burn to get our final orbit. Let's keep an eye on our fuel. Our engine setup seems efficient enough. Take a look at it while it burns. Whoa. We're so far away. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see where we're at. I'm gonna be wanting to normalize. Whoa. Forgot. If I don't have this menu open, control input won't respond. So, okay. Since I went overboard, I want to go all the way back here. But now, since we're in space, we're safe. I'm gonna move my science crew. So transfer crew. Start with this first one. Let's move him in the lab. And let's move Bob. Put him in the lab. Now, since we're waiting for our next burn, can take our first action group, open up our little ladders, and start doing our science. So, can observe a mysterious goo, send it to the lab, open the bay doors, observe. High radiation environment causes a few of the sample to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rockets with this. Sure. So, sent that to the lab. I didn't get a chance to see what that one said, but if I... too late. Here, we got another one. The goo feels right at home here. So since it's already in the lab, then we can't do anything else. But we'll get way more than 13 science for it via the labs. And I have no transmissions. So yeah, another complete total other failure. Well, maybe not. We might be able to recover these experiments since we only have a few. I think we can. Lock pressure here. Boom. Lock temperature. Measuring quite impossible. There is no cold or heat. Spacecraft probably going to think something. Yeah. That one said instrument reads 0, as if we were in a vacuum. Okay, so all these are done. All these are sent to the lab. Lab needs to start researching. They got enough science to work with. So lab status operational, and yet the lab cannot transmit because, yeah, no antenna. So we're going to have to recover these the old-fashioned way. Because I tend to forget things. Okay, and we can see the electrical charge going down, so if I turn off the lights, electrical charge is still going down. So the sun's over there, so if I were to turn the ship, oh, other way, might be able to get the batteries, well, the panels, to work efficiently. What is happening? Having some weird input delays. But it is a big ship to turn. Not really space station-y, but it's a start. Yet with all the panels we have, doesn't seem to do much. Even if I expose more of them. So basically this is going to be time acceleration waiting game. Let's say I were to stop the research. Battery goes up pretty good. Pretty fast, actually. Let's see. So if I were to max out this battery on the day side, and then start my research, time accelerate, drain out the batteries, you can see the science being done. But like I said, this is going to take a while. So this really isn't efficient, but was a nice try. And unfortunately we don't have no docking ports. So it would practically be impossible for us to upgrade this station. So yeah, big portion of me wants to deorbit it and start from scratch, and quite possibly think that's what I'm going to do, but I'm pretty sure I would lose the science that's being processed. So yeah, let's fix this orbit and we'll leave them up here for a while. Okay, I want to burn in the prograde. Let's give some trouble. Let's look at that climb. So 417. There we go. That's enough. 427. 417, close enough. Like 10,000 meters difference, but whatever. It's good enough. So let's just start our research. Let's leave these guys chilling up here for now, and let's return to the Space Center. So now we got our first sketchy, let's say, our first sketchy station. So yeah, plant a flag on Minmus. That would totally help us make more money. And get back on track. But we will need probes too. And so far there's no satellite contract, so let's take this one. Go plant the flag. Basically, let's survey out the second landing site for another future base. So let's take the... did the other one not save? Yeah, that was the one without the batteries. I guess it never did save. No worries, we can fix the issue. Well, we can redo the modifications that we did previously on it. Reuse the same spacecraft, get the same mission. But this time we'll have a science payload on board, which I will stuff under here, and I will put a science container. So where can I get those? I'm confused. Oh yes, science. I'm not used to this new menu system and it's just confusing me. Well, it's not new, but they tweaked it a bit. They added some stuff. Okay, so utilities. Let's add a small ladder. If we turn this, take this off, take this, and I rotate it. It's gonna change the way I steer the ship, but oh wait, I can just turn it the way it was. There we go. I'm a genius. So theoretically, if I ditch the last stage, I might deploy these. So I take this off. This should be enough, so I don't need to super EVA with the RCA pack. And yes, I needed solar panels and a battery. So we shall do that. So since I'm putting a science canister on here, I want to recover it. Slap it there. Bam. So we'll be able to store our more experiments in here than we'll be able to do so inside the capsule. Let's take 2 mysterious goo canisters. So this way we got all our experiments so far, minus the lab, but we'll be able to send the lab very soon up to Minmus. Let's just lower this. Pretty sure these are gonna be okay, but I'm slightly worried about them, so better safe than sorry. Gonna make sure that we don't lose them. got my... Did I put a battery on there? No. Gonna put the battery. But wait. For weight issues, and since I don't want to lose that aerodynamic property, I am going to put the batteries lower. Here you go. So at some point we are going to be ditching the batteries. We won't need them no more. Okay. So we got all this. Okay, so let's center that. Not really centered, but there we go. Now that. Why did it not show up on the other side? Probably because I wasn't looking at it. Haha, Scroidinger cat. Alright, there we go. So this should be enough for our little mission to plant a flag. And at the same time, science, because we need it. We always need more toys. So yeah, proven concept, and let's call it 5.2. Let's save it this time. Alright, so there we go. It's our ship built, and got our contract. So we're going for that. I think the next step that I'm really going to be aiming for is relays and comms. Okay, so let's get our target. Okay, we got the anti-target marker. Now we want the target marker. I overdid it a little bit, but won't have to turn as much. Let's look at it that way. Alright, so the main engine needs to be staged. And here we go. And hey, Jeb learned some new skills. He's now a 2-star pilot. He can now do normal, anti-normal, radial in, radial out. So we get some more maneuver assistance. And I'm going to throttle up to maximum. Just write this thing out. Since it's not that tall, I can get away with pushing it at faster speed than what I did with that space station thing. Hopefully we won't crash into it. There goes the solid engines. No explosion, no nothing. Hopefully we won't bomb the space center. Let's move towards our target vector right away. So yeah, the lines are shifting, we are gaining speed. We're pushing the apoapsis up higher. Pretty sure that's the mid, not mid-miss. Well, we're getting the speed we need. Our prograde vector is moving towards our target vector. There goes our fuel. There's our middle stage. Just ditch that big fuel tank. Lock into the prograde. And just run the same usual drill. So yeah, our line's moving a little bit faster now. At one point, it's just gonna kick off like crazy. So that's just taking forever because the acceleration. We have to escape the influence of Kerbal. close it right there. Give it a little notch more. Okay. We're not quite there, so. Alright, so let's do a maneuver to plan what we want to do. So that's a great start. We're lined up. Now we want to push it forward. As we push it forward, we'll need to pull on the retro because it's gonna push us way outwards. We have to correct for this. Okay, so if I keep pushing forwards, that's what happens. So where's my retro? Retro a bit. Okay, we're still back off from the line. Pretty centered. Let's push it again. Pulled us off. Boom, we have our encounter. Costing us a little bit more fuel this time. But I think that's because of the takeoff. I muffed up with the time acceleration. So I'm going. So now I have an estimation, approximately 6 seconds burn. While everything is, crap, Jeb's trying to pull me back towards the prograde, which I don't wanna do. So yeah, I gotta be manual once again. Can't wait to unlock the navigation computers. They make everything so much easier. You basically get to click to pilot, so you don't have to do so many manual inputs. It's a lifesaver for those bigger crafts that are really hard to handle because of their responsiveness. Okay, so I'm gonna warp to my maneuver. Then I am going to burn for 6 seconds. And here we go. But translated into a lot more than 6 seconds. But no worries. The only hard part is getting there. Encounter, can get rid of this, and we can just accelerate to our encounter. I put it in the retrograde Since I got solar panels, I'm not worried about the electrical charge no more. So, yeah, we see our debris from our last mission. Well, the first mission that we did on Minmus. So, let's get an orbit. Set up our approach. Okay, so here we go, 15,000 meters. Now, all we have to do is wait till we get close enough to this thing. Take a crew report. Look at that surface of Minmus, reminds you of your favorite childhood dessert. You are tempted to taste the surface. From that last experiment that we did with the surface sample, doesn't look that tasty. Okay, so I don't want to wait, and I know it's going to take forever because we're not moving at all. Okay, give me a sec, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's keep on space trucking, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna start slowing down the time acceleration. I'm gonna want to slow down my orbit back here. Then once that's done, renormalize, well, basically plan out my landing site. So I could land close to one of these craters, probably down here. But do we have any more on the other side? Hard to tell, but I do think there is some. But here, let's land in this crater. So, whoops, we're past the periap, so let's start burning right away. Doesn't take much to bring it down. I sent the throttle into the wrong direction. Yes, I'm getting tired. There is no such thing. Okay, so yeah, I'm aiming for this spot. So I am going to time accelerate to here. But so far so good. We haven't killed any astronauts or anything. We've avoided full-on disaster. One launch mishap, but that's all it was, a mishap. Heavily classified mishap. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so we are zooming along the surface right now. Kind of pretty sight. If we go in cockpit view, yeah, we can actually zoom out and see the outside. This ship is swinging. I don't know why. Nav ball. Okay, yeah. Probably just the way the ship is built and trying to use a stability control, and it's probably why it's swinging like this. But Jeb gets quite a view, even from his single little tiny window. He always had such crazy zoom from inside the cockpits and everything for visual, I guess. Okay, so once we reach the other side of this plateau, we'll be where we want to be. Heck, we could even land on top of this plateau. Could be a nice staging point. And there's the other lake bed I said I was going to be aiming at. And hey, there's our shadow. So we can actually see our shadow from here on the surface. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we will not be saving the stage this time. We will be destroying it and ditching it. So hopefully we won't leave more debris than what we did up there. Let's get our retrograde. And we're gonna start burning shortly. We're gonna start burning right now. cliff right there might give us something to try to design a rover that can go up that cliff. Up on our final approach. And our last burn with our 5-engine setup. Alright. Hasn't cost us that much fuel to slow down, but we would still have enough fuel to actually land this thing and probably get back on a heading. Well, no, not get back on a heading for Kerbin, but could have done it. But I don't want to keep these. I don't want to have to destroy him either from the tracking station, so I think I'm going to. Oh, we're at what, 4,000 feet? Yeah, I'm going to ditch him now so that I get to destroy him completely. Going to turn on my last engine. Get my gears out this time. I didn't put any lights. Doesn't mean Jeb can't have light. And I'm going to start to slow down. I'm throttling up so I don't smash like that engine's going to do. We see the two shadows now. Hopefully no parts from that engine setup will survive. Boom, one part survived. Hopefully it will get destroyed on the next impact. There we go. Boom. It's all gone. And I'm coming down smoothly. Shadow keeps disappearing. That's strange. Ah, there it is. Feel like Peter Pan all of a sudden, losing my shadow and shit. Alright. This landing is pretty smooth so far. Might still mess it up, but I don't think so. I want to actually do some missions, well, some science and stuff. Boom. We got a little bounce out of it, of the suspension. Right on. So, just for safety, I'm gonna shut down the engine and I'm gonna turn off this stuff to let the ship settle. It seems like these legs are just floating up and seems like something's pushing it. Okay, so we need to plant a flag. I never did my action group for my ladder, so I'm just going to extend it. Hopefully it goes low enough. There you go. And let's get Jeb outside. And the ladder works fine, so we don't need to collect those. So let's observe materials bay. Okay, external controls can only be done by scientists, so let's do this stuff first. So let's observe the materials bay. Material sample process, you began to turn your thoughts to how much mint mist looks like mint dessert, and have discovered that you are now hungry. Alright, right on, Jeb. Jeb is hungry. Right on. Okay, so this goo observation, you observed the goo. Nothing more than that. Okay, let's keep it. Back to the EVA. We'll do another goo experiment, but while we're taking off. I will need to do some RCA. The ladder wasn't quite long enough. Well, RCS pack, I mean, not RCA. Okay, if we take another surface sample, still get 33 science out of it. Well, wait, real sample, let's get rid of that. Let's save it for once we get a lab. Okay, so I got paid to put this here. Seems appropriate. Okay, so EVA report, nothing. What was he saying? You feel a bit like superhero. Yeah, we had that one earlier. Okay, so let's get this pack on. Oh. F. F for grab. Not really, but whatever. Okay, so now I want to recover these experiments. Collect data, remove data, so now I can't use the materials bay, neither that goo canister anymore, because I can't restore them, because Jeb's a pilot and not a scientist. long-term missions, I'd have scientists and engineers. Engineers can repair stuff, and scientists can restore science equipment. And usually they give you more bang for your buck when you actually do some science. Okay, so we did all we could do down here. We completed our contract. So we are going to be heading back home. Yeah, I just realized these parachutes are like super offset. Wow. Oh well. As long as it works, I gotta turn my engine back on. And let's retract that ladder. Can I close this? Yes. And the goo canister is pretty much done for. So let's go back home. Forgot to turn on the stability controls. My bad. I'm just gonna pick a side and do what I have to do to keep my heading. So I just opened it up. Now I'm going to cut the engines to check out my map. So yeah, lock it to the prograde and just let her go. See where it takes me. So yeah, I should have went the other way. Keep going the same way as my orbit, but too late for that now. Would just be a big waste of fuel. Okay, that seems high enough. Now, where's Kerbin? Kerbin's over there, and I'm pointing over here. So I could theoretically just floor it and get my heading back home. That is what I shall do. Okay. The more I accelerate, the bigger it gets, so I'm just going to warp out of the sphere of influence of Minmus and wait till I'm on my other orbit, but that's not an efficient way of doing it. Thank God for time acceleration, or else these videos would never end. But they go as long as I feel like playing, so. I'm going to start retrograding to slow my ass down. Can get back to Kerbin. Gonna have 2 encounters on this one. I will be happy with just this. No, as long as I don't crash into min-miss, I should be okay. From all this readjustment. Oh boy. I'm already in this. I'm back into the sphere of influence of min-miss, but I'm going back to Kerbin afterwards. So let's just time accelerate. Let's not go too crazy. Okay. Back into the retrograde. $61, I want to be lower than that. Well, you know what? 60. Well, there you go. Whatever. That way I get to burn the remaining fuel I have to slow down. Oh yeah, and before I do that, let's get the mystery goo. Let's recover it. Let's get this ladder open. And let's recover it with Jeb on an EVA. Oh boy. Hang on tight, Jeb. If not, we're gonna have a issue on our hands. Collect data, remove data. There you go. Can't restore it. Let's go back to the capsule. Board. Oh. Board. There you go. Yeah, why I started spinning is because all stability control went away when the pilot decided to step out. So if there is no one to pilot the craft during the EVA, no one's piloting the craft. Okay, so I'm gonna do my time warp. I got all my science. I didn't need the actual canister on top for it, but was there just in case. Okay, so I get to move this along. Still full of fuel. That's the thing, that's why I love min-miss compared to the moon. So cheap to go there. Like this craft would be overkill even for there. But I landed huge crafts with lots of Kerbals in them. Probably gonna do one in this mission. Well, in this series, I guess you could call it. But I am aware that I am going to have to redo the first parts of this series. Whoa, why did I do that? I'm retarded. I ditched those 2 tanks. I'm ditching that other tank, and it's probably going to blow up. Yeah, those other tanks are blowing up. Oh, and that ladder. God damn it. I don't have control of that ladder. That's right, because I jettisoned it. I'm guessing as soon as that engine runs out of fuel, it's gonna let me go. But hey, it's doing its job. Look at that go. There you go. Now it's going to release at some point. Let's give it a jiggle. If I... there you go. Oh. Come on, grab into the wind. There you go. It's gone. As soon as we get at a certain distance, you just phase out of sight. Can't see the flames no more. It'd be awesome if we'd land on that little tip. Just a tip. If we go low enough, it might just happen. Stage my shoots. I forget a lot of things. Well, the joys of live streaming, I guess. You get to see everything live. I staged the wrong shoots. Oh well, doesn't matter at this point. Pop the big one first. So yeah, these shoots are definitely overkill for this tiny ass capsule. Somehow, I don't know, I thought there would have been more meat on here. I was just going to take forever to land. I'm going to be keeping the heat shield on just to help it move along faster. Even in time acceleration, it's like, holy shit. Yeah. 2 meters a second, almost 3. Yeah, overkill. Right. Okay, well, I'll go get another beer. Well, Jeb lands, I guess. Alright, I'm back. Right, so I can't wait to see how much science we made. Shield is gone. And I'm covering vessel. Before we sink. Okay, so 277 science, so actually going to Minmus paid a lot. So yeah, we get to choose these fancy capsules with the payloads, or even go up farther. Yeah, the infrared telescope, surveyor scanner, that's just more science. Get the comms, stronger relays, better solar panels. What else do we have on the other side? Got engines, fuel tanks. Don't need those yet. Think I would have to go with one of these. The cockpits. For better cruise, so that's what I did. And I'm going to need better comms at some point. But I am also going to need the command. I'm gonna research the command line for now. Missing a little bit, and I'm going to gain my RCS. So these are like, I haven't got them early on, but they are essential if you want to do better maneuvers and all that for bigger ships. But they add another fuel source to the equation. So, okay, this is how far we got in our tech tree so far, doing what we did. And all our contracts are cleared, and we're getting some more for Explore Minmus, so significant. Transfer any crew between vessel near Minmus, go on an orbital spacewalk. So yeah. This one is So yeah, we could actually do a twofer on this one. Do a rescue mission and at the same time rendezvous some vessels. Yeah.
Oh,
Gonna do a twofer. I'm gonna go for a rescue mission on Minmus next. So I'm gonna conclude this live stream here, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe if you want to see more. I'm not sure yet, I might be doing the next part like later on this evening, and not sure yet, but next part is a rescue mission. So thank you for watching, and till next time.